Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I hope everyone is having a good one. I know I am, because it's Monday, and I get to play D&D with all of my friends, and I get to have all of you here watching. I hope everyone had a good weekend, is recovering okay from whatever weekend festivities you got yourself into. And, yeah, that's about it. Happy to be here. I, had a bit of fun last week with the party. I'm looking forward to this week. Before we get to that, however, some quick announcements and a chance for everyone to say hello to everyone in the chat. For me, nothing really new planned. I will be streaming this weekend at some point. I'm hoping to do something on Saturday, definitely something on Sunday after the F1 race. So keep an ear out in the Discord, or an eye out in the Discord for posts about that. Beyond that, it's going to be business as usual. I'm going to be working late, so you might see a late stream here and there. If not, though, you'll see me this weekend coming up. With all of that being said, I'm going to give my friends here a chance to introduce themselves, starting today with JTB, as Ryan has not yet returned from his smoking escapades. What's going on, JT?
Literally, like, hour ago, not even 40 minutes ago, uploaded 2 new little karaoke one takes into the music channels on the Discords in the Purple House and Apothecary, so you can go check those out. If you like Elvis or just want to hear me fuck around with Alice in Chains, there you go. That's
no.
So it is.
I didn't know
My
you
Ring of
posted
Fire
the
is
Elvis
burning.
cover. I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go check that out. That's gonna be tight. Everyone go show some love to our boy JTB.
Bad news. Internet got pushed back to December 19th instead
That's
of November
okay.
7th. So
That's okay. Shit happens. You're gonna get there. Every day we get a step closer to high-speed JTB. It's gonna be magical.
someday, somehow, gonna
you
have
guys-
internet, but not
everyone-
right now.
Everyone whipping their streaks out in chat. God, guys. God. Thank y'all for coming in, hanging out. Should get those streaks looked at, though. Just like 1 or 2 extra wipes will help deal with that situation. Next up, Ryan. What do you got going on, buddy? How's the Purple House? How are things?
Oh, loving, laughing, whatever Sandra Bullock did in that movie. Was it Sandra Bullock? No.
I don't
Purple
know what
House
movie
is
you were
great.
referring to. Okay, wow.
Eat, Pray,
Wow.
Love.
There you go. Fair enough.
I
Really stuck the landing on that one,
business
buddy.
as per usual. 8 out of 10.
Aha!
Loving, laughing. I'm gonna have some, what are they called? Discounts on the subs here soon. Coming up towards December, that'll be fun. Coming up towards as December, we'll have the 600th episode, 600th stream, which is wild. And December like 2nd or 3rd, that'll be 2-year streaming. So expect something fun around then too.
Has it been that long already? Wow. Holy
Been
shit.
2 years.
2
I know.
years. We're gonna have to figure out some kind of celebrations. I'm excited to see what you come up with.
It's gonna be fun.
If you're doing any open homie gaming, let me know and I'll try to make sure I am available.
You know, bye-bye. Kisses to you.
Kisses. Everyone go show some love to Ryan over his channel. Thank you again for the raid, buddy. I appreciate you. Next up, Chris. What do you got to say to the good people here in the chat? Valid. Really nailed it. Okay, good enough. Good enough. Everyone say hi to Chris.
As always, I'm excited to be playing D&D. I got Stuart a Santa sweater.
Is he still wearing it?
Making an appearance. No, he was,
Oh,
he was
okay.
uncomfortable. He needed to lick
Yeah.
his rump.
Fair enough.
He was blocking it.
Yep. I hate it when
Yes,
things are
but
blocking
you'll see
me
it, don't
from
worry.
licking my rump. Yeah, I got it. I get it. Well, without further ado, I think we
Is he
should...
converted.
Get
I
converted.
converted, dude.
Enjoy Catholicism. Hope it's as good to you as it was to
Cthulhuism.
me.
What does it say converted? That's so weird.
How does that work? Oh, you just... Next time, you're gonna pay
I was
money.
Prime subbied, and then I used my Prime on
Mhm,
someone else this month, so I had to convert.
Ah, get converted. Well, I
That's
appreciate
so
you, homie.
funny.
Thank you. Thank you,
It's a
everyone.
weird
Mostly 'cause
social
fuck
burden.
heads.
The Musk and the Holy Gates.
Thanks everyone for being here. Without further ado, let's get into things because it's been a week. When last we left off, the party left their home behind in the watchful care of the Brotherhood of Masons, specifically Blipsby Ipswich, your kind of go-between you and the Masons Guild. You got Ashlyn situated at the home of her parents, where her and Olga would be staying for the duration of the repairs/renovations on your home, and the party decided they were going to spend some time just knocking off some of the local jobs that needed done. Specifically, their attention was drawn to one mission, one job that was requesting the help of skilled adventurers to dispatch some kind of foul, disgusting creature that had taken up residence in a nearby hot spring that had recently been invested in by the Milton Group, a rather famous group of hotel investors. Don't shake your head at me. It was the chat. It was not me. I cannot take responsibility.
I'm shaking my
Thank
head
you
at
very
chat.
much.
Y'all are a bunch of degens. Continue.
So,
This is on you, chat. This is
after after leaving Fort Mistmere, you traveled to the nearby lumber camp, where the party first started their adventures together, their very first job. And there you met Meryl Goldwyn, a representative of the Milton Group, who was responsible for the setup, building, and otherwise development of the Verosian Springs Resort, a luxury resort and glamping destination at the base, or somewhere near the base of Mount Voros, that was meant to be some kind of getaway for wealthy people hoping to get a taste of adventure, so to speak. Realizing that this was most likely the most profitable venture the party could invest in, you negotiated with Meryl, eventually coming to a price of, I believe, 1050, if I'm not mistaken, 1,050 gold pieces in exchange for clearing the creature out of this place, and a yurt, and a year's membership at the spa when it opened, which meant more to some people than others. But either way, a hefty sum and a job worth doing. However, the party during this time was forced to wrestle with the fact that they had chosen to prioritize wealth, potentially over the well-being of the local populace, specifically the kids who have been disappearing over the past few seasons in increasingly large numbers. Each night, various members of the party were visited by some kind of spectral child bearing the damage of some kind of conflict in different forms. Xechas, or was it Vykarl? First saw her with scratches across the face at their home. And then, Dusty, yes, Dusty, thank you. And then Xechas, then later at the camp while he was on watch. Vykarl left only with the regaled tales of this creature. Each time the description being different, one just bearing simple scratches across the face, the other seemingly having been torn, mostly apart and eaten alive. However, the party continued on, and after leaving the lumber camp the following morning, made their way towards the Verosian Springs. However, they decided that perhaps some hunting and a little bit of padding of the pocketbook, in a sense, would be good. So they made an attempt to break away from the path and hunt some of the local wildlife, hoping to gather some furs, meat, and other supplies from the bodies, and either sell those or find another use for them back when their adventure was over. Through the skillful tracking of Dusty Sharpclaw, you found a small herd. Herd might be a bit of a misnomer. You found 3 aurochs grazing on kind of a plateau that was sticking a little bit out of the snow, bearing just the ever faintest part of winter shrubbery, and the party launched what can only be described as an all-out assault and or act of terrorism on these poor creatures as Dusty opened fired from the tree. Xechas joined in kind. However, not knowing how to reload the firearm in his hands, decided to opt for a magic missile instead, blowing one of the creatures mostly into pieces. However, through some skillful hunting, Dusty, you were able to bring down the largest of the creatures, and Vykarl, your spiders chased the last of them into the forest until they disappeared into a plume of ice and snowflakes. And I believe that is where we ended the session, so we will pick up there. You all stand here in the forest, surrounded by the, shall we say, results of your escapades here. One creature more or less blown apart, still bearing bits of meat, but the hide mostly ruined. However, one still in fairly pristine shape, bearing only 2 small bullet wounds. 3 small bullet wounds? What are you doing?
I think 3.
I think it's 3.
I feel like I may have gone a little bit overkill on the first one.
All right. Well,
Sorry about that. Perhaps that's
you
just
know,
what we need.
Violet, that
Yes.
the chunks are all you, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Violet immediately bounds over to like where the pieces of this creature were blown off of it, still smoking on the ground, and begins lapping them up eagerly, while the rest of you continue.
I will say, wow, that was impressive. Quite impressive, actually. Those hides are really expensive, so you're gonna want to avoid that in the future, best you can.
Yes, firing that rifle was, I must say, rather exhilarating. Perhaps
Isn't it?
it would be useful for me to learn how to reload it. Sure, it's not that complicated. Figure it out.
Well, he thinks back
Difficulty.
to teaching Ashlyn. I'm sure it won't be that bad of a problem.
Good. Well, in the meantime, we can process this rather large one. Good shooting on
Oh
it.
yeah. I'll help with that. Whoever. I'm thinking Dusty's probably going to be the best one to go for here.
Yeah, I'll get it skinned up. I will say the hide is expensive. It also, I mean, I went to the blacksmith before, but I feel like you might be able to do something with it too, Xechas. They make for incredible, like, cold clothing, jackets, things like that. Their hide is much better than most creatures, I'd say. So.
You also know their horns fetch a pretty penny if harvested well.
And then we can try to get the horns off them.
Oh dear.
So.
All right, and I mean, I'd imagine some of those leg bones are rather hefty as well. Wouldn't mind, keeping those after we strip the meat off. Several things I could do with a large, good chunk of bone.
We're gonna make use of every little bit we can.
Cool, yes.
Speaking of, Dusty, roll me a survival check as you go over to harvest that creature.
I'll
At
give you-
disadvantage because of Kieran.
I'm gonna give you a guidance.
And then wasn't Vykarl helping?
I'm going to hold down the animal.
So
I know
straight
it's
roll.
not moving, but just
Straight
keeping
roll,
it steady.
thank
So
God.
just a straight roll.
Oh my God.
Roll the d4 too?
Yeah, we do crit fails on saving throws, not so much skill checks. Granted, it is still a 1 for a total of 7, with the 4 bringing you to an 11. So, I will say, where you normally, at your prime, would probably be able to harvest and manage this creature quite skillfully, you are cold, it is still early, and you're perhaps not at your best right now, and as you kind of begin the harvesting process, I will say with an 11, you mostly butcher the hide of this creature, and neither of these two beasts have a hide that is going to be worth selling much. I will say between the two creatures, you do manage to harvest enough hide to make something like a pair of gloves or perhaps a hat. But definitely not enough to take to market as wholesale. A skilled seamstress could probably do something with them if you took it to a leather worker and prepared it and everything. What's up, Swamp?
As it's getting done, Dusty's just like, well, I don't think we're gonna be making a whole lot of money. Pretty cool hat, maybe, but you know, we got meat, and that's what we're here.
That's all right. There's still the horns. Would you perhaps like me to have a try at it?
Sure. Sure. I'll point out what you might need.
All
I'll
right,
hold it
and,
steady again.
I can give myself a bit of help as well. I'll cast guidance on myself as I try to harvest the horns. I'll start with just one of them.
Okay.
See
I'll
what I
also
can do.
say, Dusty, collectively, you harvest about 100 pounds of meat from both of these creatures by the time you're done. And that's having done a shitty job, I will say.
Next question.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read this. You find twice as much food while foraging.
I would say this
This
is
isn't
not
foraging,
foraging,
technically.
this is hunting.
Okay.
A
Fair
little bit
enough.
of a distinction there. If you're going for winter berries, perhaps you would find a number.
Trying to get use out of it, man. I'm
No,
trying
you got 100 pounds of meat. Zehas, what were you doing? Sorry.
Well, first with the meat, I'll take some like fabric. What the fuck is that? Like a flour bag type of material that I keep in my bag of holding, and I'll take it out and like wrap around some of the meat as much as I can and shove it back in the bag of holding.
Okay.
I still have like 350 pounds available in there.
Oh yeah, you got space.
So, as
And then
much
for
as
harvesting
we
the
could fit in there.
horns, you could fit all of it in
Yes.
there, I would say.
Oh, sweet.
You're probably getting about to full just in terms of sheer like area at that point, but
It
you
doesn't
probably
do it by area anymore. It's just 500 pounds.
we'll look into that later then. For now, you're all good.
I mean, I don't have anything else to put in there anyway, so.
Okay.
Yeah, horns.
How are you going about harvesting the ram's horns, or the oryx horns, I should say?
Well, I'll take JT's or Dusty's advice. I'm assuming I'll use one of my daggers, and however he says to harvest it is how I'm going to harvest it.
Okay,
Have you read about these creatures?
Are you proficient in survival?
Nope.
Okay. So this is going to be just a straight survival roll.
Can I cast Enhance Ability on myself?
Sure.
Sweet.
And can I also hold down the animal again?
I would say if you have assistance from Dusty
It doesn't
and
Oh,
and Vite Carl, you can roll with advantage.
oh, without using Enhance Ability. Okay, I won't do
Yes.
that then.
Go ahead and
Well,
roll.
this will be fun.
No luck.
I don't see how you're improving a 2.
It's a 4
That's
for
fair.
a 10.
Or a 10. Out of the 4
Probably
horns,
still not bad.
you get
Oh, I did.
1
Okay.
that is in any decent shape. The others, as you're trying to cut and pry and get them off of there using nothing but a dagger, not having any skill necessarily in the slaughter and collection of animal horns, you are only able to harvest 1. The rest kind of splinter and break as you're trying to maneuver them and pry them off. You get 1 fully functional horn, which Dusty would know sells for about 10 gold pieces as a collector's item.
Okay. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
10 is bare
I thought it
minimum
was gonna
success
be
for that.
I thought it was gonna be like they were worth 50 gold each or something like that.
No, but like 4 altogether is 40 gold in your pocket,
Yeah.
which is no small amount of money in terms of D&D.
Oh well, then perhaps next time will be better, or next time someone else can do it. But at least we got the one that we can, I don't know, sell or keep.
Yeah.
Perhaps
They're just
turn into
bad
a drinking
animals.
flagon.
These were bad ones. I can tell just by looking in their eyes.
These weren't
Bad
ripe
ones.
yet.
Yeah.
Does it look like I could carve it into a drinking flagon?
The one you have? Yes, that is
Yeah.
something that would commonly be used for them. At least, like, the top
Okay.
portion. Because all collectively, it is a good couple feet long and kind of branches out almost like an elk horn, but much more, like, kind of jagged. It doesn't have the same curl as, like, a bighorn sheep would, per se. But you could kind of cut the end off and make a drinking horn about yay tall.
Perhaps there are some things we could do with it, you know, artisanally to make it be worth more.
Souvenirs! Yay!
Well, you know, we came out here for food. We came away with drinking. So can't complain.
I
could
love
try to
things we
turn
can
it
put on
into a horn.
shelves.
Like a horn that you
Oh.
blow through and make a note. That would be cool.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
That is something you could probably do as well.
I'm not much for the horn. There's only one thing I blow.
What would that be?
Never mind. Just never mind, man.
Oh!
Let's get past it.
All right.
Hey.
Cold today. Vicar's just looking down and he's bright purple. He's just.
That's how a Goliath blushes. He turns fucking purple.
What we got?
He's covering his front a lot. It's just a lot of.
I love how unapologetically homoerotic this whole campaign has been. Not even just you guys, everybody.
Make it gay,
Everybody,
make
make
it
it
gay.
gay. It's great. It's great.
Is Auroch always spelled with plural, or is a singular Auroch an Auroch?
I don't know.
Rockeye?
I'm
I just remember when you rolled, it said Aurochs.
I think with an S,
Aurochs?
I feel like Aurochs makes sense, but I prefer Auroch for the plural. Like, look at that horde of Auroch. Makes sense
like
to me,
moose.
right? It's like the mooses. Mooses.
Meese.
Mises.
Meeseses. So after a somewhat disappointing hunt, you guys do manage to walk away with about 100 pounds of meat, which can also be sold to the local inn, butcher, grocer, that kind of thing, and you can still probably turn a pretty decent profit, just not as much as you had perhaps hoped. Even the shooting of the first creature from which you harvested the meat from 3 different angles didn't do much to help your process there, as you guys had kind of unleashed into that creature. But for the most part, it was a successful hunt, and you walked away with some food, which was the main goal. With that being said, as you guys kind of stand there on top of this plateau, the snow falling gently around you, kind of beginning to collect ever so slightly, you find yourself at about the midpoint of the day. The sun is almost at its zenith. It's not at its highest yet, but it's getting pretty close. What is the plan? You know you have about a day or two's travel, depending on how the weather holds up from here, based on the map that you guys see in front of you. What's the plan for the rest of the day? Are we continuing on through the forest? Are we making our way back to the path? How is the rest of this journey looking?
After all the skinning and whatnot, Dusty just finding the trail again.
Okay.
On the road
Lovely.
again.
On the road
I
again.
feel like that would be the wisest. Get back to the trail, we'll be able to move faster.
Right.
Fair enough. You guys arrive back at the trail. It was about 20 minutes to your south at that point. You hadn't really gone far looking for these creatures, as they were, as Vikarl and Xechas were making their way along the path. You're kind of serpentining along, branching out into the forest when you found these creatures. But you arrive back with relative ease as the weather kind of just lays this gentle layer of snow across the ground. It crunches under your feet as you walk along the path. The river next to you, its edges frozen about 5 to 7 feet out, the middle of which still running fairly rapidly at this point, having been thinned by the ice. The current's running a little stronger, and you know by this point of the year normally this would likely be frozen all the way over. However, with the recent increase in volcanic activity and the number of hot springs that have been cropping up around the mountain, the water sources are just generally warmer than they generally were in the past. But it's around the mid-afternoon point when the sun has passed its highest and begins falling down in the sky that you, looking ahead, see the first signs of another person. As you were told that there were 2 guards placed along this road. And as you kind of round a bend, you see a tent set up, a small encampment that looks empty to your first glance. Where you'd been expecting 2 guards, perhaps one awake, one sleeping, you instead just see a tent torn and shredded, flapping in the wind faintly. And you kind of draw to a halt about 40-50 feet out from this campsite, just watching this tent kind of flap uselessly in the wind, and any sign of life gone.
Well, that is a problem.
I'm gonna have Smith fly like 30-40 feet up, see if he can see anything ahead, or kind of hiding just off the trail.
Okay, so I want the group to roll me a stealth check as you guys pull off the trail and just hide for a moment. So we'll say you guys would be about here by the time this happens, just as the kind of path is meeting the lakeside that branches off to the Velmys River there. You're just along that part of the path when you see this. So roll me an investigation for Smith as well. Nat 20 on the stealth. Very, very nice. Dusty 26. Vikarl, what about you?
I'm going to go ahead, and as we're ducking off, I just kind of do a little somersault into a bush, and as I pop out as a gray direwolf. Whoop,
Okay.
And I'll make my
Nice.
stealth check as that. Whoop.
Investigation or perception for Smith?
Depends. Is he landing and looking around, or just doing a flyover?
No, he's just doing a little fly
Okay.
around
Just perception then, please.
in the air.
I'll say roll with advantage, please, Ryan. As a dire wolf, or as a
Thank
winter
you.
wolf, you have advantage stealthing in the Arctic. Yes, Dusty.
As Smith was being sent up, I wanted to pay attention to like any tracks or signs of like specifically.
Okay, roll me a survival check or nature check, your choice.
No thanks, you shit.
Survival is to just find the tracks. Nature would be to kind of pick out where tracks like these would likely be appearing. So as he flies over, he just sees the tent flapping. There are what appears to be stains of blood on the tent that he can see even with that check. But beyond that detail of appearing there's some kind of conflict that happened in or around this tent, Smith isn't able to pick up much more than that. With good stealths from everybody.
Recalibrate one of his eyes when he comes back. Hopefully he can see a bit further, a bit better.
Okay. So where's my map for this one? Boom. Yes. So you guys would be along this path, like right where I'm pinging there. So you would be looking up to the right to see the camp, and Smith would be somewhere up there. I still need to get you a robot. For now, I will do that on the break. For now, it's not important. Dusty, you have advantage
Let's go
on a check. However, where are you guys all hiding? That's where you would have seen the camp when you were standing, and then you said you cut into the forest. So go ahead and put you guys in the forest where you'd think you'd be hiding out.
It's kind of a berm.
Yes, those are. It's about 15 feet up from you where this tent is set on a little plateau. You notice as you get closer to the mountains, you're coming into these more kind of rocky, craggy hills on which the forest is kind of growing.
Actually, probably would have been near this tree.
That little rise you're by would probably be maximum 5 feet and not all that steep. Easily walk upable, but it is a slight difference in incline. As you all approach very stealthily, the Winter Wolf, however, with a 9 total stealth, is kind of approaching. And as you're making your way up to the tent, you can see now the stains of blood kind of speckling on it. And something else comes up to your nose. D100, please, Swamp. This could be really fun. You smell blood, but in a far greater quantity than you're seeing on the tent, suggesting to you like there is likely a spattering of blood all around this camp. Somewhere that you're not seeing. Most likely the coat of snow that has happened in the last 24 hours, covering any evidence of what may have happened here. With a 48, there is a light snowstorm happening. Snow is falling at a pretty steady rate. The wind is blowing ever so slightly, and it is on that wind that is carrying those snowflakes. You also pick up something else that the wind is carrying, other than the smell of blood. You pick up the smell of fur, matted, heavy, just pungent on your nose, the smell of a wet creature that has spent much of its time wandering around in the snow. And before you even realize it, you're kind of stepping forward, following your nose towards that smell of blood, your instincts kind of taking over, and that's when your stealth check comes into play. As you step into the snow and onto a dead twig beneath you, hear a sickening as you step down. And you all freeze for a moment as Smith is still doing his circles above. Does he come back to you, Xechas? Or is he going to continue circling?
Yeah. No, as soon as he didn't see much more than what I could see, then I'd have to come back.
Okay. And as that wolf steps forward, that sickening crack lays you all silent for a moment. The silence is broken not by any of you, but by a low guttural growl coming from within the tent. And it is at that point that... Where is my boy? Where's my big boy?
Who's a good boy?
Who's that good boy?
Who is that good boy? How far are you from the tent?
Whatever it is, I want to tame it and keep it as a pet.
Okay. Bounding out of the corner of the tent at full speed, leaping off of the small rise in front of you at full speed. I don't think I have a mini for what this is, but I'm going to see if I have a bear or something that will do instead. It's not. It's Swampy.
It's worse than a bow.
It is much worse.
I actually think we're on our way to go fight you.
Is this an... oh no. Is this an owl bear?
No.
It's worse than an owl bear?
Debatable.
Arguable.
It's a dragon turtle.
As this massive creature jumps its full speed, landing in these squares in front of you, with a claw coming in to slash at full speed. Dusty and Vikarl, roll me a nature check. Xechas, you would not, because this is not a creature you would have any
I also can't see it.
knowledge of whatsoever.
Still counting this as forest?
Yes, this is definitely forest. You guys are deep within the Festerwood at this point. With an 11. Rough. So that's an advantage because he was stealthing as he just emerges from under the snow and flap of the tent with a... Both of you have no idea what this creature is, which is surprising to you in particular, Dusty, who has been in these woods for most of your life, even having never even... With an 11 at advantage, you would have maybe heard rumors about these creatures that exists in the forest of Vorosia, these kind of porcupine quill-like creatures, but size of a grizzly bear, with fangs and claws claws and fangs like scimitars on its hind legs. Its forelegs are mangled and scabbed, and its eyes are shining bright red with fury. This is some kind of terrifying mix between a porcupine, a grizzly bear, and God knows what else. Above
It's
table.
a BBP.
It's a big bad porcupine. Above table. This is a Savager. Savagers are massive porcupine-like creatures that, when hungry, will gnaw on their own forearms for food. So, like, as it jumps forward, you see this massive clawed, terribly scarred forearm swinging these massive claws down towards you. A 22, I believe, hits your wolf form, Vikarl.
Oh yeah.
You take 18 points of slashing damage as the full weight of this massive, large creature crashes down into you. The claws kind of pushing down through flesh and bone and tearing out the other side, spattering fresh blood into the snow. And you pick up another scent, the smell of your own blood, mixing with that was already here. And at that point, I need everyone to select their minis for me and roll initiative as you are in combat. He rolls a nat 20 initiative for a 22.
Oh.
Oof. Oof.
Some bitch.
Well,
Fuck sake.
okay, it's the same. Well, Jesus! My rolls are trash today! Ah!
Oh. Okay. Okay, so starting from the top of the order, the Savager gets another round of attacks. It is going to, I mean, you're the only target it's really seen right now. With the stealth checks that the rest of the party made, they were just high enough to avoid its attention. You, however, were not. So you're going to take the full round of attacks, which is a total of 3. First attack is a 25.
Yeah.
You take 15 points of slashing damage as the first claw once again slams down into you as this terrible, ferocious creature unleashes the full brunt of its attack on you. The second claw, a 19.
Oh yeah.
Hits you for 17 slashing damage.
5, 7,
Uh,
Whoop, I poof back into my regular form.
mhm.
Whoop, whoop.
I need you to make me a strength saving throw, please.
Oh dear. Up, 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 and foot up, up, up. Come on, I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy. Son of a cuck.
Okay, you're very lucky. You take 3 additional slashing damage as this creature is hacking into you with its claws. The spines that are digging and sticking out of its arm and body are also tearing into you, and you just take an additional amount of damage. That only happens when he hits with both claw attacks, just FYI.
Oh.
And as the 2 claws are still in your flesh, the wolf having melted away, now Vikarl just standing here with these claws piercing your entire body. He is going to take his final bite attack for a 13 against Vikarl.
Oh, that means it beats it.
You take 16 points of slashing damage. Oh, that was the claw. That was meant to be the bite. It's a +9 anyway, so it would still hit, but it is 2d12 instead of 2d8. So you take 25 points of piercing damage. As the creature, with its claws still inside your torso, clamp down on your collarbone and tear the top chunk of muscle entirely off of your body. And it just swallows that chunk of you whole, never to be seen again. Dusty, you watch as Vikarl gets, for lack of a better term, torn to shreds by this creature. And it is your turn. What are you doing?
God. All right. Well,
This is a very, very challenging creature, and the fact it is something in the woods that you do not know about scares you. Because you pride yourself on knowing things in the wood. What's
I
up,
like
Crab?
to think
Welcome in.
it snapped down and grabbed me from inside the wolf and pulled me out of the wolf and just kept going.
Sure. As it clamps down on the wolf form and tears that chunk of meat off, you just appear in that wolf's place of this giant piece missing from your shoulder. Dusty, you know
Dusty's
Vite Carl
going
can
to,
survive maybe a round of this more, max.
think with that in mind,
Combat music.
Dusty is going to be like, he's gonna notice Vite Carl just get absolutely
Thank you, Swamp.
ripped.
Yeah.
He's just like, all right, well, fuck. And then he's gonna move forward on the trees slightly. He's going to, with his bonus action, covers over his eye, claws down, says hunt as a mark appears on it.
Yep, and you cast your hunter's mark as the eye just faintly glows as you cast.
And then he's gonna start shooting them.
Okay, you immediately pull out your musket, level it to take your first shot. It's ready to go. Go ahead and roll your attack.
That's gonna be 21.
21 will definitely hit. For context, they have an AC of 17. So the fur, like, Vite Carl, is you're very close now to this creature being held on its claws, for lack of a better term, impaled currently. You can see the fur is thick and matted and heavy and almost like woven together. Not quite like dreadlocks, but like matted fur that you would see on like a dog that hasn't been well kept. And you kind of get the sense that adds to its protection a little bit as you see
Like
the
shag
hair.
carpeting.
Literally, yes. You're being assaulted by a shag carpet with fucking spines in it.
The 60s are back with a vengeance. Oh no!
As you're standing there taking all these shots, you hear the familiar sound of Dusty's musket cracking behind you, the smell of sulfur filling the air as you just see the tiniest little bit of movement from the fur, and then a little bit of smoke trails out and a little trickle of blood comes out. It seems more or less unfazed currently, other than to just lightly shrug as it does so, but it does take the damage. The additional 5 is Violet, I'm guessing?
No, that's Hunter's Mark.
Okay, perfect. So a total of 14.
And then already reloaded again. He's firing the second shot.
Easily done. At this point, you've got the reloading of your musket down to an art form beyond what any of the average people could accomplish. 19 will also hit. 14 points of piercing damage.
Hold on.
Plus another 5. Oh, okay. It does seem mildly perturbed now. The collective kind of buildup of all that damage doing enough to the creature that it is now paid notice. And Vite Carl, you watch as its eyes, which are currently locked on you, as its bloodthirst is temporarily abated by the pain it feels as it shrugs these 2 bullets off, and you watch its focus shift over your shoulder to where Dusty has emerged from the tree in just a plume of noise and smoke. That's the perfect emote for Dusty shooting Swamp. There's a little cat.
Hold on.
Incredible.
I think I could do something
Oh,
phenomenal
God.
here. Let me do this real quick. It's very important and incredibly lore accurate,
Yep.
and might actually just be the most important thing I've done today.
Easily. True. I need to make a Dusty emote now using your art and a gun. Except I need to get a fucking flintlock pistol in there. Thank you, House Corver. Appreciate you.
And then after that, after he sees it turn towards him, Dusty's gonna go, all right, motherfucker, let's go. And then he's gonna make his way up the tree next to him.
Okay. You climb.
I
You
guess.
climb easily up the tree. That your turn?
Yep, that's
Violet's-
all I got.
Violet's in the necklace right now, just to make sure we're on. Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
it takes an action. Do the
Easily
next,
done.
I believe.
I believe it is an action, or at least a bonus. However, that being said, Xechas, you watch this scene just unfolding before you. What are you doing as the sound of gunfire just cracks off to your side and you see smoke billow out the back of a tree?
So I'm
See
gonna
ya, Kieran.
scramble up this ridge here, peek over
Okay.
this rock. I'm assuming this is difficult terrain.
Yeah, I would say it adds an extra 5 feet total, just flat for your movement.
I'll be like, oh shit, What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I guess where you were behind the tree, you see like a flash of fur and blood and Carl just shaking violently as he's being torn apart. As you step kind of up
Not good.
and around the tree, you can kind of see this creature now.
Okay, I'm gonna fart and then out of fear.
Roll for Shart. Roll me a percentile. If it's above a 95, you're pooping a little bit.
I don't eat.
Doesn't matter.
The most vile, rancid shit that's been sitting in there for years.
You don't have to roll for huge swamp shits.
I did.
Swamp
Rolled a
shits in the.
50.
Okay, no shit for you. You're good.
Okay, good. I'm going to lightning launcher it. Twice.
Okay.
Fucking Tony Stark hand comes out.
All right, go ahead and roll your attacks.
Use the first one.
12 will not
Use
hit,
the 12.
unfortunately.
No, it's okay.
Carl, this beam, this small kind of lightning bolt, just whoosh, surge of electricity whizzes past you and onto the creature and just fizzles out on the fur, unable to make any kind of meaningful damage. 16. Once again, it hits. This time you can see the fur kind of begin to smoke and singe, and then yet again, the lightning dissipates without having any further effect. You need to beat a 17 for these creatures.
After failing, I'm going to cast Healing Word at 2nd level on Carl.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, yeah, bonus action heal. Absolutely doable with your lightning launcher. What is your healing word? What word do you use as your healing word? You poke it in the eye, Swamp? There's a somatic component. Yeah, what's your healing word? It can be any word of your choosing. It can be dicks. Does not matter.
It's suture. As the little thing comes up, I'm just like, suture.
You see a flash of green, and you feel the healing spell begin to take effect as you receive what is effectively a healing back shot from Zay.
Yes.
Why can I only do this at 1st level? Can't I use any spell slots I have to cast magic initiate spells?
I'm not sure. Magic initiate is limited to 1st level only, yes.
That's lame. Okay.
I think so.
That sucks.
I don't see why that would matter, but...
Wait, I can't remember. I feel like I looked this up and it was the opposite. Magic.
3 whole points. I'm gonna look this up. We're gonna do a ruling.
You learn.
Well, that's what I was thinking, right?
No, it just says once you cast it, you must finish a long rest before you can cast it again using this feat. You learn the
Okay.
spell and can cast it at its
So if it's
lowest level.
not a spell,
it
you would have...
specifies-
Yes, at its lowest level. Okay, so level 1.
So I can still cast it at 1st level, but that was my free use of it.
Yes. So you get 3 points of healing.
Plus
Thank you.
3. It doesn't
Plus
add
3.
the spell modifier to it, but it's supposed to.
Okay. For a total of
You get 6.
6 points.
Yep, better than nothing, but...
It's much needed, thank you.
And,
You still feel as like the healing takes effect, you look down and still see these claws in your body.
Oh!
I'm gonna have
those-
Smith fly 30 feet just towards them. He's right here.
Okay. Let's just put a little robot down. Robot. We have a robot. What's the most cursed ass robot we can find?
I don't know.
Ha!
What the fuck?
It's a little robot. There
Oh
you
my
go.
God.
That's what you get.
Missed
That's-
opportunity
that's
to
like
put
a
FAP
bionicle.
on there.
I don't have a fat mini in this game, unfortunately.
Robots
But
with
that
portals?
is where your robot is. How high up is he? Or is he just hovering above the ground?
No, he used his full 30 feet to get there.
Perfect, so
So
ground.
he's
level.
hovering.
Okay.
Mhm.
With that all being said, that your turn, Weitkarl. What are you doing? You're not Wolfkarl
God.
anymore.
Alright.
You're back to normal form.
Back to normal form, and I'm just holding on to the claw in me, and just, all right, time to make this body not hurt anymore. And I'm going to start to pulse with green energy sparkling around me as ice crystals start to form around my body in jagged like spikes, almost mirroring his spikes.
Mm-hmm.
As I cast bark skin on myself first. Whoop
Okay.
up. And then, with my bonus action, I just start to elongate. You hear the snapping of the ice cracking as I start to just elongate around, and I turn into a giant constrictor snake.
Okay. So you
And
turn
I have
into what is
something for-
functionally an anaconda.
Whoop. That work?
Do I not have a Snake Carl mini yet? Fuck.
Whoop.
There's like 80 minis in there, and we still don't. Okay, we need a snake one too.
I
Good to know.
uploaded one. Why isn't it?
I will just. I'm sure I have a snake here somewhere. Deletes a wolf. Goodbye, wolf. I will get. It's fine. I'm gonna give you a snake mini.
The
Maybe.
gates of
Bless you.
Elon. Elon Gate.
Elongate.
There we go. Do I have a cool snacky? Snack. That's a double-headed snack. That's not
Snake,
long.
it's a snake.
What?
Guess it's a snake.
Nicky little snide.
And you said it's a large?
Oh,
Size
it's big,
creature?
baby.
Large or giant? Large or
Huge.
huge? Okay. There you go. Well, you tell me what you were
like
going to
fucking
do on
God.
your turn. I will give you a mini for that.
That is just about it, as I just kind of wrap, not around him, but I'm just kind of in his space as a giant ice-covered porcupine snake. And I just kind of bring my giant snake head down to his and just... That's gonna be me.
Okay. No action or anything?
Nope.
You sure?
Well, that was, bark skin was my action.
Ah, yes.
Wop,
Okay. So my giant creature is up next because it deleted your wolf. That's fine. You were last in the order anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna put you at a 4.
That's
No, you're
exactly
right.
what it was.
Right. Okay, perfect. Going
Nailed it,
forward,
baby.
it might help if you just drag Weitkarl into like the top corner of the map and use him to select your
Smart.
initiative. So when we get rid of your beast shapes, it doesn't do that. But for now, we
Smart.
Gucci. The creature is up next, and as it's still kind of entangled with you, Dusty has really been the only one to do any significant damage to it, and he did issue a bit of a challenge saying, let's see if you can climb. I would say, how far up that tree did you get, Dusty?
Well, I had 5 feet to get to where I was, and then all the way up from there, so 25.
Okay, you're 25 feet up. Perfect. You watch as the creature steps to the base of the tree and just jumps into the bough, and claws begin carrying it up to right beneath you. It can get just into range with its 20-foot climb speed if you're 25 feet up. That last 5 feet, he's just going to swipe at you from down in the tree. I will say the huge snake's attack range, he didn't actually leave your space. No, you would have, as he went that last 5 feet to reach 20. He would have just left your range. So go ahead and take an attack of opportunity. He's already in the tree when he's leaving your range, but you might be able to just get him as he's coming up to Dusty.
Come on.
You poked his eye. The disadvantage will happen. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, your pretty little head. It'll be good.
We're gonna get you back to Tyson and your
You-
cozy snaky bed.
Thank you. Your cozy snaky bed. You chomp down on the back of the leg. Your fangs aren't able to even pierce the thick matted fur, and this like foul taste kind of fills your mouth like unwashed carpet in your mouth. Dusty, as he's underneath you, he's gonna take his 2 claw attacks at you. First at disadvantage, so a 14 to hit you.
Question.
Yes.
Is he able to swipe at me with both claws while clinging onto the tree.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
His back claws are lodged into
14
the
misses.
trunk, standing on the thing, and as he swings up, grabs with the other, and swings up again. So first one misses. You can thank Swampy for the disadvantage on that one. And then the next one, straight attack, 19 to hit you.
Hits.
You take 11 points of slashing damage as you're just trying to get out of the way. The claw reaches up past your boot and kind of drags down the back of your calf until it reaches the top of your kind of heavy leather boot, and you have about a 3-inch long gash that just digs into the back muscle of your leg. For its last attack, however, it is going to look down at the giant snake still on the ground, and it still has 10 feet of movement, so it is going to let go of the tree and just fall straight towards the snake with its mouth open and just falling towards you, trying to take a bite. I will say it will be at disadvantage as he's falling 15 feet to do this, but if he hits it, there will be extra damage. Deal?
Sure.
19 to hit you.
I gets it.
Okay, you take
Even through
14
buckskin.
14 points of piercing damage with an additional 1 point of bludgeoning damage as he just steps on your tail a little bit when he lands instead of crushing you under his ginormous girth. The tail kind of sinks down into the ice and snow. You hear a crunch of the kind of very cartilage-like bones inside, but you manage to get away mostly unscathed from the fall, at least. That will be his turn, however. Dusty, he did fall out of your range, so if you would like to take a melee attack of some kind, you can. Whether that is like a rifle bash or like a quick claw attack, I will let you
I'll
decide.
try to cut him with my claw.
Okay,
I
go ahead and
guess.
roll an unarmed attack for me, please. Swampy hates this monster, dude. 10 is gonna miss. As the kind of ferocity of the attack just takes place, you're trying to scramble out of the way. You take the wound, and as the creature just falls out of your range, you're unable to take a swing at it quickly enough to do any substantial damage. It is, however, your turn. What do you
What
got?
was the amulet called?
Oh, fuck. I was gonna do the card up for it.
I was checking to see if you had it as an item so I could add it. I
No,
don't remember
not
if it was
yet.
bonus action to get her out or not.
It is a bonus action, yes.
That works out.
And
then.
we've just kind of been calling it the Amulet of Drak-Thoran, mostly. Or the Amulet of the Thundering Skies, or something. It kind of changes based on the day. Xechas, you're muted.
Never mind, it's all good.
Okay. So what you doing, Dusty?
So first things first, Dusty is going to grab or I guess at this point, now that he knows it can climb, he's gonna slide his way down the tree.
Not only can it climbs quite well.
Slides his
And can
way
launch
down
itself
the
on
tree.
Horizontal surfaces.
Okay.
And now that he's down here, gonna grab the amulet, say shelter.
Okay, there's a
And
purple and
Violet.
blue flash as the amulet flashes, and Violet jumps out to land in the snow at the ground, kind of at this creature's feet, already within battle distance, unless you choose to summon her somewhere different. But otherwise, she's just going to appear right next to you.
What is the range where I can?
It's like 10
Summon
feet.
her at.
10 feet in any direction from where the necklace is. I remember I was going to do up the item sheet, and that was the day D&D Beyond crashed, and then it did it again the next week. So I just said, fuck it. And I haven't done it since. We'll do it
Fine,
live.
right.
He got said now.
Fine right there?
And then, yeah, she'll just be right here.
Okay.
Let me open her.
You
streak,
are
and we're good.
just out of the range of the... Well, you're within 5 feet, so technically you are in melee range currently, based on where you chose to fall. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from here, because bonus action to get her out, can she take her turn on that bonus action?
I believe it's a bonus. Is it a bonus action to command her to attack or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so she
Yeah, it's
wouldn't be
bonus
able
action
to
to
attack this turn.
That's what I wanted to make sure. But with that,
But I
now that
believe if
Dusty's
you
down
don't
here-
command her, she takes the dodge action by default anyway, right? So she'll be taking her action to just dodge this turn.
Dusty's gonna take his shots. He's just gonna point the gun directly.
It is a pretty large creature. You gather it's almost impossible to miss other than like your shot just not making it through this dense, matted fur.
I'm gonna take some movement first. Stay alongside him to get here. Do we do flanking?
We've never had this situation before, have we? I will say technically it's when two people are in melee with someone, but where you're using the gunner feat to allow you to engage in combat within 5 feet. I will say, for the sake of the rest of the campaign, yes, we will give it the advantage property when you are flanking with somebody, just because you are able to like get in close and do effectively melee combat with guns.
It's real hard to dodge a gun when you also got to worry about a.
Yeah, you're doing a precursor to like John Wick level gun fu type shit. Like,
I'm
yes.
pulling the musket back.
He's just leaning back at like a 45-degree angle, like this.
Just fucking bent down like some
Oh,
fucking
man.
JoJo pose from
Yes.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
For we'll say where you are actively using the gunner feat and engaging in melee combat, yes, we will give you advantage on flanking
What's that
strikes.
movie with Christian Bale where he does gun fu?
Which one?
Is it Equilibrium?
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's literally the exact same thing twice.
Yeah, both of those hit.
He's going to have Violet do her reaction.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll 2d6 on that for another 4.
She gets 2d6? Nice. Oh, Hunter's
No,
mark.
Hunter's mark.
Okay, so for the first strike, you do 14 plus another 4 for 18 points of piercing damage. Go ahead and roll damage for your second shot as well.
Second one, I gotta.
Oh, roll your attack for your second
Advantage.
shot, right?
Oh, so close to a 20.
Oh,
So close.
all right. So with the 24, you hit both shots. Another 9 points of piercing
11.
and 11 points. Okay.
11 total.
Okay, the creature's looking pretty worse for wear at this point. I was expecting this to go kind of gone. You suspect more like it did with the guards who were here before, and perhaps wasn't expecting so much resistance. You see it kind of shirk back ever so slightly, reassessing its position, but
actually.
at this point it is surrounded on all sides. It is fight or flight, and you all look as this creature kind of readies itself, and this ferociousness kind of begins to increase even more so.
I did maintain Hunter's mark.
Yes, you did. Okay. No worries then. Dusty, is that your turn?
That is all I got.
Okay. Xechas, you're up.
I am squishy, but I must protect.
You are glass cannon, but must protect your boy. Must protect
Okay.
the snake.
It's a snag.
It's a snake.
So, seeing the
Bye-bye,
tides turn a
Barkskin.
little bit and us gain an advantage, I'm going to continue to try to turn the advantage, and I'm going to cast Reduce on the Savager. Yeah, con save. I want to make it small.
Not 20 for 28.
Fuck!
You step out, you
That was
cast
funny.
your spell, you watch it flash, and for a moment, you think it might have just worked. You see the form of the creature kind of struggle against your spell and shrink ever so slightly as the roaring goes like, and then comes back into full shape as it resists your spell, and it just begins to like ready itself to unleash a whole new wave of attacks against your comrades.
And for that one, I say in Elvish, miniaturize.
That would have been really funny. Unfortunately, he got
and
the
then-
nat 20 on that one.
Smith is going to He has a ranged attack.
He does. What does it take for him to use it? Your bonus action to command, like JT's pet?
I think it's slightly different. Go infusions here. I have to take a bonus action to command it. Yes, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Bonus action to command it.
So yes, it does work the same, which makes sense. So I'll just yell, Smith, blast him! And Smith is going to, very much like my lightning launcher, but it's a force base. He's
okay.
Gonna extend his hand up and try and do a force strike.
Go ahead. Is it a save or a roll?
Net 20! It's an attack roll.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
It's a d4 plus 2, so like...
Okay, so just doubling what we roll, he does 10 points of damage. So you watch as little Smith claps his hands together, like almost like a Kamehameha, but like this. You hear, and you're almost worried for a second, as you've never done this before. You hear the gears inside whirring to a point like, is he going to explode? And then he does, but it's entirely out of his hands as this conical wave of force just unleashes into the creature, and Smith is kind of like does like a backflip as he recovers from the strength of the force. You watch the creature just kind of off to the side as it takes the full brunt of 10
just
force
final
damage.
flash the bear creature.
It's looking rough, dude. That if it had been like more, that could have been close. The creature is looking feral at this point.
That was 1 point below max damage, so yeah.
Amazing.
Seeing the anger in this thing, he's just gonna go and go up like 15 feet.
Yeah, just flies out of view.
More like 20 feet.
Okay, 20 feet up. Snack Carl, what you got, buddy? You're kind of like interwinding around the claws and moving throughout each other's space with this creature. It is very large, and you are very close to it. What are you doing?
The icy bark, the icy spines kind of start to melt away as I'm losing focus, and I bring my head up, and I want to start trying to like snake my way around him. I want to entangle this bastard, keep him steady. Let's go ahead and give that a shot. Come on, please. Okay, 21.
That will hit.
Hey.
Okay, and he can roll as an action to escape on his turn, right?
That is correct. So I'm just gonna like kind of go under his legs, and then I kind of come up and around, and I just pretzel him, straight up pretzel, and just chip.
You wrap through the creature's legs, around one of its knees, up around its back, through one arm, around the neck, and around the other arm, and you begin squeezing. You hear bones kind of wrenching against the force and cracking. And go ahead and describe for me, Vikarl, how you finish off this creature. Between the nat 20 from fucking Smith and then the extra damage from you, that was just enough to finish him off.
I just keep, like, you just see my head pop up and around, and it's like an impossible amount of knots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They just keep nodding and nodding until finally I get to the point where even I can't breathe, and it's just like, and we both just in one poof of snow and magical green dust. It's just Vikarl laying on the ground, just.
I'm going to say this. Fun fact. As this creature is covered in very, very sharp porcupine spines, and this is the first time it's been engaged in melee combat by anybody. You take only 2. You take 2 points of piercing damage, as any creature that does a melee attack against a Savager takes default damage from the spines. As you're twisting and curving around this creature's body, tightening your grasp as you do so, you have to grit your snake teeth, your fangs, through the pain of having porcupine quills digging into your body while you are doing this. You're able to avoid most of it, but there's 2 points that are just excruciatingly painful as you just wring the life from this creature. It collapses into the snow with you still wrapped mostly around it as the spines have kind of dug in to your side, and as the rest of you stand there now in the snow that has been soaked with the blood of Vytkarl and this creature and God knows who else before you got here. That is where we will take our break for today. So, everybody, we are going to take a quick tenor. Definitely most likely the guards, based on this. Fun thing, this is not the creature you were sent to find. At all. Yeah, these are not great.
On my check for the shambling mounds, right? To learn about them, so I would know that this.
You would know this is not a shambling mound. You know what shambling mounds are, and you have no idea what the hell this creature was or is. But with all that being said, everybody, we will be back in 10 minutes. We're going to go ahead and take a quick breather here as I am a little peckish and kind of feeling a little hungry. I would like to eat some. I'm going to go have a little snacky, grab a drink of water, and we will be back in 10 minutes, y'all. Don't go nowhere. We'll see y'all soon. Love you. Bye. Welcome back in, everybody. I hope you had yourselves a good break. I would like to present to all of you Stuart in a Christmas sweater. Something everyone needs to see at least once in their life. And now you have seen it here. You've also seen Ryan's hair in its full majesty. Did you shave the sides? You did. I like it. What a mullet. That's beautiful.
I was going to say, it's looking
damn,
fresh.
That is ferocious looking. I love it. Nice, Stuart, you sweet baby.
Business in the front, party in the back.
Chowder's coming to say hello. It's a great hairstyle. It's actually the same hair Tiny Hands has.
Yep.
I love it.
Goblin core, orc core.
You and Nerd get along so well. So, with all that being said, getting back to the game at hand. The party, having wandered down the path long enough, following the river as their guide, eventually found their way to this old encampment that they were expecting to meet two guards at. However, they met something much more ferocious. Instead, a savager attacking the party from the depths of the seemingly torn up tent unleashed quite the onslaught on Vytkarl. But you were victorious, and as this creature lies dead, now bleeding out in the snow from several wounds and the final crushing blow, quite literally, from Constrictor Carl is what I'm going to call you now. That's your new name when you're the snake. The creature lies dead, and Vytkarl, you kind of slither off of it, kind of feeling the spines pulling out of your flesh as you do so, and you find yourself free of the creature, and the three of you, along with Smith and Violet, all stand here now, having defeated this ferocious beast. What are you doing?
Dusty immediately is rushing over to check on Snake Carl.
Snake Carl is not as bad
Who's
off.
no longer Snake Carl.
I
you change back.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of like pull myself out of the mouth of the just pulling the snake mouth wide open.
Shedding
Covered
the
in
snake
blood.
skin. Yep.
It just still
Holy
like chunks of me out.
Shit, are you alright?
No. Oh God.
Start checking his wounds.
There are several wounds on Vytkarl. He got
Now I will hit you with
Tor-
the second level cure wounds.
tore to shit in that fight. Xechas, you make your way over. Kind of put your hands on Vytkarl for a moment and cast Cure Wounds. You take 8 points of healing, Vytkarl.
Thank you.
And while the wounds do heal, the general wear and tear to your body has been substantial today, and you are sore all over, like you just got hit by a train, because you essentially did.
That was a lot.
What on earth?
He was spiky.
What on earth is that thing?
I don't know, but those spines, I couldn't even crush them as Constrictor Carl. It was insane.
I've never really seen anything like this before.
Do we?
I'm gonna pull out the whisper jar and like nature expert style.
So you're gonna David Attenborough this creature. Okay, I
Creature
will.
lays
like-
dead on the ground.
I will also say,
Or like a
roll
quiet
me-
observation.
roll me a history check at disadvantage, Xechas, just to see if you've read anything about this in your studies at any point.
Yeah, I'll guide it to myself as well. At
Mhm.
disadvantage?
At disadvantage, because it's very unlikely you would have heard of it. So an 8.
I mean, it probably doesn't matter anyways. Even with at 12, it wouldn't matter.
As far as you know, you've never crossed anything like this in your research. No, even with a 9. This is something new, something that, if not entirely native to Vorosia, has never made its way to the kind of mainland, quote-unquote, of Fellarune as a whole. And if it has, they're not very widely reported, so you have no knowledge of it. But it is a ferocious beast, or if nothing else, and you gather this is very likely the type of creature that they were seeking in the job board notice that you had seen, looking for adventurers to hunt and kill various predators in the way here. And you figure if you can harvest this creature more successfully than you did your previous...
I never told the party about that one either.
Nope. But you were kind of going out on a general knowledge that pelts of various creatures, especially rare ones, are things that generally sell for money. But you can gather that this is very likely what that poster was referring to, or at least creatures of this kind.
So when I was at the job board, there was another post that I forgot to mention about collecting trophies of animals and pelts. Don't know if there's really a pelt that's harvestable, but certainly take its head.
Dusty
head for
looks
sure.
up already, starting to like try.
He already has his knife out and ready to skin this
He
creature.
fully was gonna take this shit for himself on the
Valid.
premise that he had no idea what.
Valid. Go ahead and roll me a survival check to harvest this creature.
Oh,
Can someone
I
hold
head
the
up and help him?
spines and
I'm
get him out of the way
yes.
or something?
Yes, I'm already filled with them. I might as well get a few
Okay,
more.
roll me a dexterity check, please, Carl, to see if you're able to help with the skinning process by holding these spines out of the way without damaging yourself in the process.
Okay.
Okay. I was reducing it by half. So you take 1 point of piercing damage just over the course of the skinning process while you're trying to hold these spines out of the way. But you are able to roll with advantage, Dusty. And if guidance
If
from...
possible, I'd like to keep some of those spines. Yes, I'll definitely guidance on it.
Okay, roll the d4. Okay.
16.
16 altogether. You are able to harvest at least most of this pelt, like south of the head. The head you're going to have to probably just take all together in one big piece, but you are able to pull the kind of pelt off this creature. And as you're rolling the pelt off, you're noticing that as you're kind of doing so, the spines seem to be growing from out, like within the body and penetrating through the pelt on their way out. So there's a number of like small holes in it that you would probably have to patch, but the fur is heavy, it is thick, and you gather someone wearing this coat would probably, or wearing this as a garment of clothing, would likely find themselves having a little extra protection from it. So this would be the equivalent of padded armor, but it is just clothing.
Do I think that I could use mending to patch the holes?
Most likely.
Nice. It would obviously take a lot of time.
There are hundreds of these little holes. Like, this is many nights sitting over just mending piece by piece by piece by piece. But yes, you figure it is likely something you could do.
With the quills coming from inside the body and going through, I think after I get the pelt off, because Xechas wanted some of the quills, I'll just take like my dagger and start chipping away at the quills to try to break some.
Yeah, you notice they're kind of growing out of these almost like shoots that kind of like form out of the keratin that these things are made out of, and you're able to literally just take them and pull, and they do come right out. You gather
Oh, good.
that in a pinch, these quills can be used for other things as well, in terms of its self-defense. But you are able to remove a few. I'll say a number were damaged likely in the harvesting and combat, so you're able to get 6, I would say.
I'll
And
hand
they,
them off to Zeos.
at full length, are about yay long. It's anywhere between like 7 to 10 inches of quill.
I'm going to make a writing quill with one of these.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
Fair enough.
So you can add
Uh,
6 Savager quills to your inventory.
Looks to Vicarl. Could you just, with your knife, just chopping motion at the head?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I go ahead and pull Zehos's jagged knife off my back
And
and
this giant war glaive that you currently have on your person, basically. Yeah.
whoop, whoop.
Go ahead and roll
Spin,
me.
In the shape of an
Whoop.
axe.
Roll me an attack, and then couple that with an athletics roll for me, please. As this is a very hefty weapon. It has a sharp edge, but it is a large piece of steel with a very large hand. Okay. Wow. So the bright side is you were never going to fail at this. Sooner or later, you can hack that head off one way or another. And a 10 was the bare minimum. However, with an 8 athletics, you struggle a lot. This animal's meat around the neck is very thick. Its spine is difficult to get you. And I will say it takes about 3 swings until you've managed to force the blade finally down through the rest of the neck, and the head rolls to
One
the
and
ground.
done.
There's sweat dripping
Cheers,
down your
Zay.
face as you're doing it.
3 for me.
You bring the
There it is.
the final stroke up, and it almost doesn't get through, and then you just kind of like lift your foot and stomp down on the back of the blade one last time, forcing it through the neck, and you now have a Savager head to do with what you will.
The meat on the creature. What animal would it most resemble to me?
A bear. But like a very fucking large bear. So, like, edible? Not the most delicious meat, but definitely enough to survive on. Like, if you were starving in the winter and you could kill one of these, you wouldn't have to worry about food for the rest of winter, most likely, if you were smart
Alright.
about it.
So here's something we could do. If we're quick and we preserve things well enough, we take the meat off this thing, sell the meat from the other thing. This should be plenty to get us a majority of this rest of the winter. I don't know
Sounds good
how
to me.
we'll carry all of it. I don't know how full your bag is.
To caveat from that onto the discussion about the bag of holding, can hold up to 500 pounds, but not exceed a volume of 64 cubic feet.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
64 cubic feet. That's fucking huge.
That's quite large, yes.
Okay.
Not
Do I
ridiculously.
feel like I could put
You could probably store the rest of this meat in there fairly comfortably and still fit a couple things in, but you're definitely feeling like you're nearing capacity, or at least in
this is
terms
all
of like
temporary
surface.
too, so.
Yeah. You gather, you can fit it all in there.
DM, I had one other question. You said when it was attacking Dusty that it like lodged itself into the trees with like some sort of sword-like appendages?
No,
on
it
its
just has really
legs?
big fucking claws. Like
Sick.
massive claws that like a grizzly bear can just dig into a tree and right up that shit. But compared to a bear's, these are significantly larger.
Perhaps we should take some of the claws as well. They're substantial and perhaps valuable as well.
Sure, I'll try to
Also-
take whatever I can off it.
Roll me another
Yeah.
survival check. How skilled are you at declawing bear-like creatures is my question.
Smith will help with this one because he can like gently hold each claw up for him to get at without getting in the way.
Fair enough.
Apparently, I'm really good at declawing.
Yep. You managed to pull, I will say, 8 claws off this creature from the ones it has. That's not even half of the amount that it has on its person, but the rest are pretty damaged and worn. And you managed to get just 8 pristine quality, I will say, Savager claws. Also, with the 100 pounds of meat in your bag, plus I'll say you get about 150 pounds from this creature. You're at
that's
365 pounds in your bag total.
I can't do all of that. I can fit 100 and then have like 15, 20 pounds of space left. I have other shit in there too.
Oh, I was looking at your sheet and it says you have 115 of 500 pounds.
In other possessions, I have the 100 pounds of Orok meat, 2 rifles, fucking a bag of forged coal.
Fair enough.
Stuff in other possessions that there's just no items for in D&D.
Word. Makes sense. Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I would... You kind of have to.
100.
I'd say on all of your persons, like in all of your packs and everything, you can probably carry all of this meat collectively, but the bag of holding is functionally full. You probably squeeze another sword or 2 in there, but that's it.
Well, I don't think we can fit much more in there.
We capped
Violet
it.
would be able to lighten the load at any given point.
I'm sure she'll eat plenty.
I thought you meant carry it. Right, she'll eat it.
I wonder what the logistics of sending her with a knapsack of meat into the other crystal is.
I would rather not experiment with putting a pocket plane inside of a pocket plane. Sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
Well, no, I meant
Especially
just
if you turn
normal
this
sack.
inside out.
Just like a normal
just like a
backpack
regular
full of...
kit bag.
Yeah, you can... I would say that whatever she is wearing when she's going in the stone, like if you were to buy armor for her, it wouldn't fall off every time she goes in.
I'm an armor
Possibly use
Yes,
it as
you
a
can armor. Thank you, baby.
sword.
I appreciate you for giving me advantage. I'll use it to kill the party. I promise I love you. Thank you. Everyone go show some love to Kayla. My light is flickering and I don't like it. I don't like how my light is
Well,
flickering.
that was fortuitous, sort of.
Sort of.
Something.
Goodness, I've never seen a thing like that.
Still
Is there
looking
any
over
chance that-
Zayas's or Vikarl's wounds.
Carl is
is there
beat to
any chance
shit.
that-
Just dabbing at him, trying to bandage what he can.
Roll me a medicine check as you're tenderly caring for your partner here.
It's not. It's
Roll,
not going.
roll with advantage as you're taking extra special care.
I'll give you guidance too.
Well,
You can still roll a d4.
okay.
Okay, 13.
Alright.
You don't have the gentlest touch. You're not necessarily trained in like being gentle gentle medicine. You're trained in practical medicine where you're like, I'm gonna stitch this shit up with fishing line if I have to, and we're gonna make this shit work.
He
With
grew
a
up biting a stick while stitching his own gun.
exactly.
It's like-
With a 13, I will say you're able to bandage Vikarl's wounds, bind most of anything that is still open, but you do not do so in a way that makes him comfortable. And Vikarl, you're kind of wincing as he tightens a bandage a little too tight, but you are bandaged up, and you gather the worst of your wounds will heal over time.
Thank you.
And you guys find
I like
yourself
it.
at this barren camp where no guards are to be found.
Is there any chance that that could have been the creature wreaking havoc on the hot springs? It doesn't sound like what they were describing.
No, what they described was some kind of, from what I know, as shambling mound. It's like plant-like creature. This isn't remotely plant-like.
Sure.
What's with all the strange otherworldly creatures we've encountered? Interesting. This and the that needle lord strange thing, the needle spawns. They don't sound like they're, from here.
Them, you got the shambling mound. It's just a lot of shit going wrong in this forest.
Yeah, there's
I hope
there's
it's
something bad
contained
here.
within this forest.
Bad in the air. I can feel it in the air.
Say,
Well,
everyone roll me a
given,
nature check. Xechas at disadvantage.
Mhm.
'Cause you're not a nature person.
Hey!
Okay.
Not,
You got a 17 and a 22.
it's still a 17? Okay.
So, with a nat 20 and a 22 and even a 17, you would know, above all else, these are signs of a land, a forest at the very least, but likely a land as a whole that is sick, that is unwell. Whether it is through the various mining and industrial operations that take place all over this continent, the wanton disrespect for nature and the sacred sites of a people long, long gone. Something is causing this land to fester. While the Festerwood was always colloquially named for the swamp within its center, not actually a reflection of the forest as a whole, you are struck in this moment that perhaps the name is more suiting than the person who initially named it might have thought. And while you're not sure all of these events are connected, shambling mounds can occur quite simply through many means. In fact, with two people over 20, you'd both know that shambling mounds are simply made when a lightning strike hits a swamp and a creature and causes it to somehow come to life, for lack of a better description. One of the magnitude described to you sounds a little out of the ordinary, and you can't help but wonder if perhaps too the shambling mound you are going to hunt has also been so corrupted by the land in which it resides. And you kind of realize that time may be running out to figure out where the root of all this rot is coming from.
One last thing Dusty wants to do, as he has the claws before handing them to Xechas. The claws, the way they look, do they look like the scratches and marks on the little girl?
No. Based on the scratches you're seeing on Vikarl, the scratches on the girl were less spread out, made by likely a smaller object, hand, claw, whatever it may be. Whereas, like, the scratches from this are, like, spaced out wide, and very clearly from a much, this is a much larger creature than the one that would have made the wounds that you saw.
Alright. The shit we're about to walk into is probably going to be a lot rougher than we're thinking if this is anything to gauge upon. I will say, with how close our house is to the Festerwoods and this area in general, it might be worthwhile to figure out what's causing all this.
Yes, and perhaps set up a robust outer security system in the meantime when we return.
Right.
Yes, it is rather concerning, isn't it?
Yes, you would also know that the Needle Lord, or at least the evidence of a Needle Lord that you found on your previous journey, was in the Forest of Avenar, which is an entirely different forest, but is separated only by the Velmys River along which you currently walk. Like, looking over that river, you see trees on the other side of it, and that is the Forest of Avenar right there. So they're separated merely by name for the most part.
It is not entirely impossible that the same Fey bullshit that created the Needle Lord could be causing all this. I'm hoping killing the mound will enlighten us a little more, perhaps. At least give us a direction.
Here's to hoping. Oh, before we leave, I'd like to check in the tent just to, see if there's anything that we can recover.
Right. Same. I'll help.
Roll me investigation
Remember,
checks.
Include the tent.
Whoop up.
I'm good at that.
I just help Xechas wherever he's looking.
I'm going to use knowledge from a past life.
Okay.
I'm trying not to get
You
blood
have
on anything.
an assist from Dusty, so roll it with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Ryan or Vykarl and Xechas together, you kind of make your way up towards the tent, and as you do so, you realize, particularly you, Vykarl, that smell of blood you are smelling is everywhere. And as you step in the thin layer of snow that has fallen over this, you hear a crunch beneath your feet, and then a sickening squelching sound as you look down and lift your feet up to see where the white snow once was. There is now a red footprint under which you can see bits of viscera and semi-frozen blood that has seeped into the snow. And as you make your way up to the tent, you lift open the side flap that has been torn open, and you see the remains of two men torn to shreds. Basically just the rib cage up remains with a barren skeleton with just bits of meat still hanging off of it below. It looks like this creature was either in the process of eating these men when you arrived, or had fairly recently in the last few hours finished and was napping off his morning meal when you happened upon this campsite.
Oh goodness, what a ravenous creature that was.
Maybe try and find, like, belongings of theirs if they had any, something we could take back and
With that,
show
you
them at
do.
least.
You find weapons in the snow. You find two short swords, a broken piece of shield, not far from which you find the other half. It looks like they were at least semi-prepared for this, or at least knew they were under attack enough to gather their weapons, but whatever defense they mounted was not enough. But you do find, like, the remnants of the tabard still hanging off of the torso with the shattered armor and broken chainmail underneath, where this creature had been devouring these men. But you are able to recover, I would say, at least enough of the tabard that they were wearing to identify them as the guardsmen that you had seen at the previous campsite. They were wearing very similar garb.
Is there, like, any kind of identifiers as to who they were that, like, they don't carry some sort of dog tag equivalent?
Nope. They just look like fairly standard mercenaries wearing just simple padded coats with like a light chainmail underneath. They appear to be slightly better dressed, so perhaps slightly more equipped than the ones you saw at the previous camp, but very much the same make. But nothing that indicates to you who they might be.
Well, we could return their swords, but there's not really anything of value here. Say to Vykarl.
Well, someone at that other camp is sure to know who they were, or at least have an idea, maybe, and tell the next of kin. Be good people.
Yes. I'll take the short swords and fucking shove them.
As you
Okay,
kind
I'll
of
take
you have to kind of force the last one into the bag, and you figure you are at capacity at this point.
It's,
hit the
it's
cap.
stabbing into some of the...
Yep. You're making a kebab.
Yep.
Kebab.
Kebabs. Dusty.
Did we want to rest or
I wouldn't say
keep
no.
trekking?
You
Maybe
gather.
not near the bloody tent.
Yeah, you do know that it was about a maybe 2.5 day journey from the lumber mill or the lumber camp. You left and you've traveled for just over a half day when this happened, so you do still have quite a ways to travel before you arrive.
Well, we could take a rest here.
And just a quick
Keep moving
breather,
afterwards.
perhaps.
That'd be nice, please. I'm seeing spots.
Okay, as you all, are you gonna camp here? Are you gonna go find somewhere that isn't covered in viscera?
Perhaps, yes, this is a rather gruesome sight. Can we move 5-10 minutes up the road?
Good idea.
You also
That's
worry
bloody.
about the
We'll find a
smell
good
and organs attracting other creatures. So go ahead and roll me a survival check, Dusty, with advantage as you try to find a suitable place to make camp for the evening. I will say with Kafka's weather check, as all that is happening, you feel the wind begin to kick up stronger, colder, beginning to chill you even through your warm winter clothes. The snow still falling, creating an even heavier blanket of powder at your feet, which crunches underneath your boots as you walk. It is not what I would consider a gale force storm or anything, but there is an active light blizzard happening, if you will. Hey, let's go with the raid, Aries. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in with all your friends. We're playing some D&D. I'm Rusty. These are my friends. And yeah, it's our D&D night. I hope you guys enjoy yourself. Hello there. We are currently just, recovering after the savage attack of a beast on the party. That was fun. I hope you all have fun. Go show some love to Aries if you were in the chat before the raid, and everyone coming in. Thank you for swinging in. I hope you enjoy the D&D content. So, with a 19 and plus a d4 for a total of 21, with that 2 rolled, you do manage to find, with this storm beginning to blow in off the rivers or the waters of Rook's Bay, working its way up the river, the frozen water kind of adding to the chill around in the air. You do eventually find, kind of weaving up over a hill, you dip down, and in this kind of covered, almost a glade, not quite a cavern, but like a spot where the trees kind of grew over and overhang off this short drop that is just enough to kind of put your back to and get some shelter from the wind, start a small fire, and pitch your tents if need be. But also somewhere that is getting ample sunlight from above, so the camp will still be fairly warm, at least until the sun goes down. And you guys start pitching your camp?
I think we're just taking a small stop for now.
Yes.
Okay. Short rest?
Mhm.
Okay, so everyone can roll their hit points. As they do so, you kind of just bundle up in the cold, kind of backing up against the wall, shoulder to shoulder, conserving a little body heat as you do so. Well, at least Dusty and Carl are. Xechas, you're, of course, undead form, not giving off any body heat whatsoever.
Am I able to try to start a fire?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. You have firebolt.
Sweet.
I will say quick survival check to find dry wood.
Yep. Guidance myself.
Easily done. Yep. Yeah, you're able to gather at least enough scrap
I
wood.
need to.
Okay. Carl, very well done.
I have coal as well.
You did bring some
To
forging coal. Yes,
to
your
refill
heat
the
packs. Okay, you make a small. It's not a huge fire, mind you, but you kind of put it right up against the back of this little drop, so the fire is kind of between the group of you as you sit with your back against it. It kind of burns next to you, giving off some heat. You throw your forge coals into it to heat them up, as you all kind of put your heat packs around and refill those with hot coals. The end of your rest comes to an end as the fire begins to die out. The small twigs you gathered reaching the end of their life in the flame. But you each have your heat packs, so your any further travel will be unhindered by the cold, even though you do have to bundle up tight against the winds and the ice pellets that will kind of strike across your eyes and vision, kind of stinging as they get into your eyes. But your short rest comes to an end, and the party makes their way further along the Velmys River to the west. How long are you planning to travel?
If nobody stops him, Dusty's gonna go till maybe like an hour or so after it starts getting dark.
Okay.
Good. Me
So
likey.
We're going to push ahead a little bit. All right.
Mhm.
So you guys kind of reach what normally would be the end of your travel, but you notice Dusty kind of just has his head down, arms crossed, cloak wrapped tight around him, jacket bundled up, as he's just kind of creating a path through the snow, which you all follow. And even as the sun goes down, you noticed Dusty does not stop. The cold finally begins to overcome the small amount of warmth left from the heating packs you filled with hot coals. And as your day of travel comes to a close 2 hours after the sun goes down, I need everyone to roll me Constitution saving throws, as you did just do a full 10 hours travel in the bitter cold of northern Vorosia in the month of or in the season of winter. You got a 13.
Are these at advantage because of the clothes?
Yes, advantage because of the warm weather clothes. 13 and a 13. Good job, Zayas. Okay. You do all manage to succeed, the bare minimum being a 12. You find yourselves growing quite cold, feeling quite run down as your day of travel comes to an end, but you are able to push through those extra 2 hours. So I'll say the following day you only have about a half day's Smith. You hear as Xechas kind of makes his way behind you, just the chattering of tiny little metal teeth in his pocket as poor Smith freezes.
He's immune to exhausted, so.
You just hear this like constant hum and chattering of metal teeth. Violet also does not beat the 12, so I will say, Dusty, at about that like point where you're gonna push for the extra 2 hours, Violet kind of reaches the end of her capacity for it, and she's shivering. Her usual flush purple color is kind of this more pale, subdued lavender almost color, as she's just not faring well in the cold. And I will say you can either have her push on with you and take a point of exhaustion, or she can go into the amulet.
He'll shelter.
I figured. So when you realize kind of that she has reached a point that any further exposure to the cold would likely do not so good for her, you say the command word shelter, the amulet glows once more, and Violet kind of reabsorbs into it in this bright flash of purple and then blue. You feel, too, on your chest, as she goes back into the amulet, that faint kind of warmth that it gives off when she is in there. And you kind of tuck that under your shirt and bundle up a little more and just keep that little bit of extra warmth as good as you can. And as you guys kind of reach the end of your travel, you are cold, you are tired, and you are pushing exhaustion. So what is the plan for camp for this evening? The storm has not abated, the winds are still blowing hard, and the snow is still falling heavy upon you.
Let's see if we could find a cave.
For sure.
I'll keep an eye out somewhere, either at a cave or just somewhere we can hunker real well.
Right.
Yes, either we'll do.
Okay. You know the drill. Survival checks to find a camp.
Up.
This is a heavy survival episode. This is probably some of the longest travel you guys have done just in the snow without like a boat or anything.
Double 16.
Wow, for a total of 22. We got an inspirational quote. The rabbit god from his den bestows their blessing to Vikarl and says, "Let there be raining men."
Yes.
Hallelujah.
So you have a free reroll of a check, Vikarl.
I'll do that right now.
Fair? You're helping to find a shelter?
Yes.
Okay, so an 18.
Yes.
Between the two of you, I will say, any cave that you do find, as you kind of poke your head in, you find is inhabited with a creature of some kind. You find a hibernating bear's den with a large bear just sleeping soundly, completely oblivious to your presence. And the thought does cross your mind for a moment. But it's up to you. I'll leave that choice in your hands, whether or not you want to execute a sleeping bear. But you do find what caves there are likely occupied. However, what you do find rather comfortably is this kind of dip between three hills that have kind of risen rocky and large out of the forest. The trees still spattering the tops of them, though less so, kind of creating a similar plateau to the ones you guys hunt the oryx on. But there's three kind of all set in the middle, or set them round each other, and in the center you find this kind of somewhat hidden area, not quite hidden per se, I guess, more sheltered, I guess is the word, where the snowdrifts have kind of blown in between these hills, creating this kind of awkward, almost like kid snow fort like place that where you have snow rises just building up along the walls, creating this kind of sheltered area in what would almost be described as like the vortex, the center of these three hills. And you gather that is likely the most comfortable place to camp for the evening.
This will have to make do. We'll have to post up here.
I can think of a
Is this-
pretty okay way to make this good.
This looks
Whoop,
good.
whoop.
Good to me. gonna
And
start-
Vicarl's gonna go stand in like the center of this little
Right
outcropping.
smack in the middle, yep. You
Stand
notice
right
the
there.
snow here is only about 3 to 4 inches deep, as it kind of has gathered along these snow drifts about 10 feet on either side of you.
That's perfect. And I'm just gonna do a kick in a circle, and the snow kicks up, and it turns into about 8 whoop up tiny monkeys. Whoop it up. But up. You're a monkey. Well, yes, there is. Perfect. And the monkeys are gonna start crafting cubes of snow about yay big. And they're gonna start making a wall.
Roll for Snow Fort. So I'm gonna have you make a dexterity check for these monkeys.
Okay, 12.
Okay. You gather monkeys not usually acclimated to snowy environments, but usually pretty good with their hands. Might be decent for this job. And as you summon your 8 small monkeys and kind of instruct them on what you want them to do,
Yes.
they immediately take to the assignment using their they're slightly less dexterous than human fingers to craft these kind of somewhat misshapen snow blocks, better than you were expecting, not as perfect as you as hoped with only a 12, but good enough. And as you kind of describe and instruct your little monkey army what to do, they begin piling these bricks and creating a wall in between 2 of these like hillsides, and leaving the end not currently facing the wind open. So they basically created like a wind blocking V in between these 2 hills, leaving the third way as your kind of entrance, quote unquote. And I'd say after about an hour of effort, you and your small gathering of monkeys have made what is akin to like a grade 4 kids fucking snow fort. It's like some schoolyard snow
Recess.
fort. We're gonna have a snowball fight with the yellow snow kind of level shit, like straight up. But you now have a functional snow fort in which
Perfect.
to sleep this evening.
Great job. Go warm your hands. And they all just kind of snow.
Into snow and ice and just land where they were standing. And you all find yourself in a hastily constructed, albeit well constructed, hi Stuart, monkey fort. While Vicarl's
Well,
doing that,
hell.
what do the rest of you do to help prepare your camp for the evening? It is cold, it is miserable, and even though the wall built by Vicarl and his crew protect you from much of the wind, they do nothing to protect you from the ambient cold here as night falls in Vorosia. So what are you all
Gather up
doing to
bits
help?
of like branches and wood to start a fire.
I'm gonna do the same, but I'm gonna like try to create a substantial fire because it's fucking cold.
Okay,
Not a fire, but a good one.
fair enough. I will say one of you just roll me a survival check with advantage as you try to gather up. Finding small sticks for like a quick fire on a short rest is easy. Finding enough dry and usable wood in the middle of a blizzard in a snow-covered forest is a little more challenging. But gathering whatever small sticks and twigs you can find, eventually you begin to find these spaces that have not entirely been touched by snow, where these large canopy of trees have kind of created this small nook of shelter under which the snowdrifts haven't managed to reach, and you can kind of gather some larger twigs and sticks from there. You're kind of going more quantity based as opposed to quality at this point, and by the end you have what I would consider like a 2 to 3 foot tall by like 2 foot wide mound of just dry twigs and sticks and whatever else you can find. That coupled with Xechas's coals would likely do the trick. Ryan, what is that face? What are you up to over there? You've been smirking for the last 30 seconds. I needs to know. I needs to know. What did I say?
Nothing at all.
Ryan.
What, Caleb asked me, am I a Tina or a Linda? Or a Teddy? and I'm having genuine trouble deciding which one she is.
Fair enough. You were looking at me like I said some dirty shit. I had to know. I had to know what it was. You had stuff on your mind.
Nope, not at all.
Nope, it's fine. So yeah, collectively between all of you, you managed to make a cozy and comfortable camp for the evening. Might I ask, who is taking watch?
Before we go to bed, though, I'm gonna take the time I need to make some chef's utensils, and I'm gonna cook up some of that S.U.C.C smoky boy meat.
Go ahead and roll me a chef's tools check.
What modifier does that use?
I would say wisdom, because that's more tied with like survival, which I would consider cooking a survival-based skill. So we'll say wisdom, just to.
I'm good at guidance, me.
Yeah, because anyone can throw something over the fire and cook it. Having the wisdom to know when it is cooked is a different thing altogether. If you were using a cookbook to follow a recipe, I would say use intelligence. But where you're cooking by feel right now, we're gonna go wisdom. So 22.
22. I'm gonna document the process with my whisper jar. Okay.
You gather your cook's tools, which as you make them magically comes in the form of a cast iron pan, a large kind of Dutch oven cast iron pot, and some various utensils with which to cook on them. Collectively with what you have in your bag, I would say if you wanted, you could make either some kind of stew out of this or just straight up seared meat. It's your choice with a check that good, what you want to cook with this.
I don't really have anything else to make a stew with. I only have meat.
Sweet. Protein meal. You just use the cast iron and throw 3 strips of meat that you've cut into steaks onto the grill with nothing else and just cook it. And you all sit there around this fire as this meat cooks and smells quite scrumptious. Yes.
I have, from a hot minute ago, a jar of honey. I'm going to use the jar of honey to make it taste better.
Ooh, okay,
Nice.
we do a honey glaze. I'm down with that.
Yes.
So
that would come in
after
something.
the meat is cooked in the pan and you gather what you think would be an appropriate temperature to cook something like this, being that it is quite exotic to you and not something you're super familiar with, you err on the side of caution and give it like a nice medium well cooked to be safe, just because you've never really had or served this meat before. And as it's finishing, you grab the honey, mix it into the pot and give it a good shake, make sure everything's coated, and you have 3 honey glazed fucking Savager steaks right now. You're not sure how they're gonna be.
Well, it's something. Hopefully it's not too rancid. The meat was a little interesting, but it smells all right.
I'm very excited. This smells really good.
The first thing you notice is there is 0 marbling on this meat whatsoever. This was not a fat animal. This was pure, unadulterated muscle. And the meat reflects that. It kind of has this dark, very gamey meat color. And as you all take a strip and try a bite, with that 22 check, you find it is not only delicious, but the meat was cooked in such a way that it more or less melts in your mouth. It is tasty, it is gamey, a little hearty, Again, not entirely dissimilar to like eating bear or maybe a mountain lion or a predator of a similar nature. But the one thing you do find is as you're even reaching the halfway point of this steak, this is far more filling than any beef or cow you've ever had. I've always found game meats quite filling when you eat them. It's my favorite thing about them.
Protein, yep.
It's pure protein. So like you get halfway done and you kind of have to push to finish. JT, put it away, JT. Put it away. You finish each of your steaks and find that your stomachs are full to the point you maybe like could have used some greens on the side to rinse it down a little. You're all probably gonna have the protein shits in the morning, but you know, hey, you win some, you lose some. You are all full. You are all
It'll be a
warm.
gassy campsite.
You are all well fed. Yes, it's gonna smell like fart in here tonight. So,
Nice.
as you all finish your meal, the cold being kept at bay by the warmth of this fire, Xechas, your forge coals, creating this bed of coals that is now glowing red hot and just melting down into the snow, evaporating that little bit, and eventually you just see rock underneath it where you have burned completely through. Your coals are screaming hot, and as you add more sticks to the fire as the night comes to an end, you gather you'll likely be getting heat off of this for quite some time. You can refill your heat packs to sleep with too, which will provide warmth in the night. And Vykarl, I do believe
as well.
Okay. Vykarl, you said you're taking first watch? Okay. So
Smith will take watch with you.
Lovely.
roll me a perception check for both of you, please.
Whoop.
Dusty, make your way into the tent. Vykarl as well to rest for the evening. Dusty, you to sleep. Xechas, you to enter whatever trance it is you enter when you rest. Beans. So, as you sleep, Vykarl, you sit around the dying light of the fire with the tiny robotic form of Smith kind of making these gradual like flight passes over the camp, getting to the other side of you and then just going back around the outside of the fire. Eventually it lands next to you, just looks up and goes, kind of shrugs its shoulder nonchalantly and then just kind of plops down in the snow next to you to wait
Good
until
job,
its
soldier.
next turn starts. He looks up at you.
At ease.
Crazy, I didn't teach him how to do that.
Natural skill.
And you, with your 20 or 23, as you're watching the tiny robot for a second, you almost don't notice anything. But as you kind of lift your eyes back over the flame as Smith takes a seat next to you, you see just in the gap between a pair of the bricks that your monkeys put together, the sight of a small, light gray eye is looking through one of the cracks at you. This small flash of blonde hair. She looks at you. You hear a voice for the first time. No one else has mentioned a voice before. You could have saved me. You could have tried. You could have done something! And she screams as she bashes her hand through the bricks, and you look now as revealed to you this small blonde girl, where last you had heard her described as her face torn, eye limply hanging from the socket, and right arm missing entirely. You now see as the hand smashes through the bricks of snow and this visage is revealed to you. The other half of the face, where you were seeing the one eye looking at you, is completely gone. There is just a broken skull that remains. The rest of the damage, as described to you before, still present. And as the bricks fly through the air towards you, kind of take shelter for a moment, and when you look up, the damage to your wall is still there. That was not a dream. That was not a hallucination. But the little girl is gone. Completely vanished from your sight. The rest of you hear that screech and Vite Carl's reaction to it. And
What
that
Fuck.
is where we will end the session for today.
Oh, you got me good with that one, Bubba. Ooh.
Yeah. Super fun. So, we will be back next week to pick up where we left off today. I hope to see you all then. I'm looking forward to it. Sorry if I scared anyone by yelling. Hopefully the limiter on the microphone worked.
It worked so perfect. It was perfect.
Good. I'm glad. So that will be all
Did not
for
peek
today.
out. That was impressive.
Good.
So good.
That is, it feels like a dramatically appropriate place to end things for today. So we'll see you all next week. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. While I find someone for us to raid out on, I will open the floor to the homies below me, starting, of course, with Ryan. What you got going on? How you feeling right now?
Oh, terrified, sweaty, somewhat turned on, so excited.
A little
Can't
aroused.
wait.
Fair enough.
Oh, babies. And,
Sorry, my
you
bad.
know, hey, what can I say? I've got, same old happening. I'm going to have discounts here happening for subs. And of course, tonight, I'm going to be hanging out with Schism. We're going to be doing some Avatar shit. So come on over and see Schism.
Avatar
I'm
shit?
excited.
What are you doing that's
Avatar!
Avatar shit? I'm so excited. That's
Opening
going to be great.
cards.
Oh, he's doing the
Opening
cards?
Avatar
I'm so
cards.
excited. That's going to be
Avacards.
tight. We're just going to raid out to Tark. That's an easy choice. I haven't got to do a Tark raid in a few days or a few weeks. I mean, so we're going to go show some love over there. Everyone go show some love to Ryan. And next up, we have a JTB. What you got going on? Any last words for the people before we go?
Couple things. I was gonna make a joke earlier about how else I get my protein, but I already made one.
You already made one
reference.
sucking off like Carl joke
Yeah.
today. Yeah.
Secondly, check out the music channels in both the Apothecary and the Purple House. Just uploaded Can't Help Loving Falling in Love by
Banger.
Elvis. And
Beautiful.
Man in the Box by Allison. And
Man
then
in a box.
thirdly, go get yourself a giant bag of mini M&M. It has been so worth.
It has. This
Yes.
is not an official Eminem sponsored stream, but we wish it was. Chris, last but not least, you and Stuart. Oh, Stuart got camera shy as soon as I brought you into it. Any last words for the peeps? It's just your chin right now. You need to tilt the phone up just a little. There you go. Oh, now it's too far. A little more, like 30 degrees down. There you go. No, it's the wall now. No, it's not working. It's fine. The stream delay makes this near impossible to deal with.
I love it.
Say some kind words quick. We're running out of time. Say something.
I love all of you. Thank you for watching us.
Yeah.
guys.
Bye.
With all that being said, we love you. We'll see you next
Get a cat.
time. Y'all know the thing. I have been Rusty. These have been my friends, and you all have been awesome. We'll see you next week. Bye. Hey everybody, I'm Rusty Tonics. Thank you again for coming by the stream or checking this video out on YouTube. It means a lot to us over here at the Apothecary, and it's always a pleasure to share our D&D games with all of you. If you're interested in catching them live, you can see us every Monday at 6 o'clock Eastern on Twitch, or every Friday after the stream comes out on YouTube on demand. Feel free to check it out, drop a follow, drop the subscription, or whatever you want to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified whenever our videos are coming out. And yeah, I hope you all have a good day. Keep being good to each other, and I'll see you next time.